We win. Welcome to Flat Earth. Shirts in the back, bro. Snacks on the way.
You have no clue.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, what is this that you're doing here?
I'm just doodling some stuff for your audience members to see. Just saying though.
14 and 19?
Yeah. So you take the word NASA, right? And then you take the A, put it like that. That's 14. That's 19. That equals 33.
And the beauty of that is we can calculate that.
So it's right in your face.
So you're just making up crap because you want to try to come to a conclusion with numerology. That's a completely meaningless thing. Nobody gives a damn about numerology. It's stupid.
Okay, cool.
So
I know numbers don't mean anything. Like when Peggy Wynn was in space for 666 days, that was just a complete accident because rocket scientists aren't accurate about anything and numbers don't mean anything to them, right? Okay, cool. Cool story.
And the beauty of that is we can calculate that.
All right.
So again, I'll ask you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. So, without further ado...
Hello, I'm MC2, the worst rapper in the world, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of headbanging there, because I know that
While you're shaking your head.
Austin was enjoying some headbanging there.
While you're shaking your head. That's laughable.
And all right, so this is
a call for an uprising.
And there we go. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing all right.
Whatever.
The format is simple,
Which is very much untrue.
That's laughable.
2,387.9 miles away.
we will save.
One of them is completely uncut.
Everybody gets an opening.
Completely uncut.
A debate between Skeptic Dank and Witsit-Vs-Septic.
Whatever.
Everybody gets an opening. We will save.
It's like 3 hours long.
5 minutes. And then an open discussion. And
of the drop from curvature we'd expect to see.
All super chats till afterwards. I'm not going to interrupt with any.
So you should have prepared for this more.
I ask that you all be polite in the chat.
Whatever.
And mods, I'm able to spend a little more time looking at the chat. Don't be getting too anxious on stuff. I can handle stuff a little more than usual. So, who is going to go first?
Since the globe Earth has the burden of proof, we'll let him take it away.
Oh, you already made a claim. Ooh, there we go. All right, Austin was enjoying some headbanging there.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Whatever.
All right.
There we go. All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So one of the first claims.
Just a second here. Just keep talking. I'll get it prepped.
All right. Well, let's see how much of this we can get through in 5 minutes.
And give me a second. I gotta get them on the screen just right so that they look as glorious as they can.
But I think we want to start out strong. So one of the first claims.
Just a second here. Just keep talking. I'll get it prepped.
If you want to pull up that one picture.
Okay.
So one of the first claims.
Just a second here. Just keep talking. I'll get it prepped.
So one of the first claims that a lot of flat earthers make is that there's never been observed curvature, which is very much untrue.
Austin was enjoying some headbanging there.
Which is very much untrue. All right.
For starters, he says that looking at Polaris and then it just matches the perfect angle assumed on the globe. Well, what
They just dismiss them all.
So you should have prepared for this more.
So this is why Mr. Sensible sent up a balloon up to about, I believe it was 38 kilometers. And if I have that.
We will save.
Using a narrow angle lens, so not a wide angle lens, and he has these two taut strings across the string to show that there is not any distortion going on. From up there, there is definitely curvature in that picture. If that was all the way to the edge of the disc, you should expect to see some part of that in nighttime.
And give me a second. I gotta get them on the screen just right so that they look as glorious as they can.
Let's see. We got and it's definitely not CGI, which is very much untrue because he has the entire balloon trip in a video on his channel. So one of the first claims that a lot of flat earthers make is that there's never been observed curvature.
We will save, and I can handle stuff a little more than usual.
And now so one of the first claims that a lot of flat earthers make is that there's never been observed curvature.
So you should have prepared for this more.
I can handle stuff a little more than usual.
All right, now we also have, if you can pull up the black swan, a lot of flat earthers use this as evidence because, oh, we see too far. Now, sure, we see too far if you don't factor in refraction, which they often just hand wave away. But there are probably thousands of pictures of curvature. It's definitely not CGI. So that is more
give me a second. I gotta
representative.
Austin was enjoying some headbanging there.
Whatever.
Representative, because you're looking at it from an angle, not straight on to the edge of the dome. You'd still be able to see Polaris. Now, okay, if you want to pull up the triangulation picture, so
the isosceles triangle.
So you should have prepared for this more.
This would be the right triangles, the two of them.
There
are probably thousands of pictures of curvature.
30.
Yeah, so
okay.
You might a lot of times they say, oh, it's because perspective, because things appear lower the further away you are.
Polaris 60 and 30.
Yeah, so
okay.
It's definitely not CGI, but refraction is always at play because things appear lower the further away you are. Now, you can go out and test this, and the beauty of that is we can calculate that. If you go beyond the equator, it is now below the horizon. The further you get. Now, at a certain point, like the further you go, that star trail should become more and more oblong.
Whatever.
There are probably thousands of pictures of curvature.
All right, no, you've done enough, bro. You've done enough.
Okay. Now if you can go to
that's about 5 minutes.
What is in contention is the actual terrain itself, the terra firma. That's why it's called terrestrial refraction.
Until you get to the equator, in which that has now gone down to the horizon. So one of the first claims that a lot of flat earthers make.
All right, no, you've done enough, bro.
Do you want? I might still try to bring up some of the other stuff I got later, but
I'll put it in the chamber, bro.
I can give it to you, or I could keep going and then just give you an equal amount of time. You should be able to see all the way. No,
all right, go ahead, Austin.
That should not be how it works on flat Earth, and which also doesn't work because in the video it actually swings around. You got a good 360 degrees of view, and the entire area is lit up.
Talk over me because I'm using the MacBook Pro. All right, anyway, just put your other pseudoscience in the chamber. So
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What you started off with was talking about some picture of an apparent location. From what altitude was that?
I want to say it was. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Anyway,
I want to say it was 38 kilometers. That is considerably higher than any commercial airliner ever.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to ask you a question. This is my opener.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
All right, so all the Globe Earth does is reify their belief system, and we're gonna prove this with everything that he just said. So,
yeah, you're muting and unmuting yourself, but
so
what happened, bro, and you said it in your own opener, was that they've been using this for thousands of years to navigate, right? So
is the same degree that you're going to see Polaris at.
They've taken what's been known, the consistent location of Polaris and the cyclical nature of the sky, right, which is how we navigate, and then they've reverse engineered it based on an assumption of the Earth being a ball.
It becomes exactly what we would expect to see. There are probably thousands of pictures of curvature, yet if you were to put this into globe calculations,
you've done enough.
Oh.
So somehow you presupposing the Earth's a ball
because it always matches, the degree from the degree from the North Pole.
Presupposing the dimensions, then taking the presupposed dimensions and looking at the sky and reverse engineering those dimensions.
That has to say the same. So, but so
The isosceles triangle.
this would be the right triangles, the two of them.
Up.
Polaris doesn't magically get further away from Earth just because you moved south.
Based on the sky that never moves.
See, I have heard some people say, oh, maybe that was just the edge of the disk.
Somehow proves the Earth's a ball because the numbers match with the sky.
That that number should stay constant.
Dude, they came from the sky, bro. Okay, then you went to the black swan and
putting it at more like 2,387.
Said that we see too far. That
an entirely different calculation for the height.
Isn't even the black swan argument. So
or no, that ends up making
you brought up a flat earth argument, yet to even comprehend it. The black swan argument
should end up
is the fact that we have decapitated the assumption that there's a physical sphere edge that obstructs your view.
Probably thousands of pictures of curvature.
So you should have prepared for this more, right? So what we are seeing in the black swan is not a physical location, is not a geometric horizon. As a physical, tangible obstruction.
You would see Polaris at about 30 degrees.
It is actually an apparent location.
2,387.9 miles away.
This is why it constantly fluctuates based on atmospheric conditions. And
you go to the next one. If you then move to what is it?
Observer height. So the actual black swan argument is that
away or high for Polaris. But if you go
from 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, we would have to see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet.
So if you calculate that as a triangle, assuming a flat Earth, then you can calculate the height. The height should be about 3,581 miles away.
1 foot would be 1.2 miles away, but yet 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, we actually saw the horizon further than 10 miles away.
So we know that that is the angle you will see Polaris at that latitude.
Requiring the radius value be over 264,000 miles.
Go ahead and prove me wrong on these measurements, because this is what they use. This is what they've been using for navigation for hundreds and hundreds of years.
As opposed to your presupposed fairy tale that claims that it's 3,959 miles.
And then on the bottom is another one from the same spot that has conditions with lower refraction. You can see from the poles and stuff that are coming off of there, they're not as distorted. Like in the top, they look all wavy, or anything you can measure the angle of.
So you're going to have to establish that we have a physical geometric horizon, which goes back to your first postulation.
You have a sextant,
a little image where you said that you saw the Earth's curvature. But you just took a picture of an apparent location. And
if you can see Polaris right now,
if you went to that same distance and at the same altitude, the next
you can go out and test this
next day, it wouldn't be exactly the same. And
from the poles.
In fact, of course, all lenses do impose curvature. It doesn't matter if it's a wide angle lens or not.
You would see Polaris at about 60 degrees.
You should have researched that. So the actual problem here is you have to offer empirical, verifiable evidence.
This one is, so this one would be,
there is a consistent Earth curvature location that is a physical obstruction.
If you are 4,136 miles away.
That's what it comes down to. So all you did was take a picture of an apparent location, then you pulled up a black swan image and then a picture on another day where
exactly how high or low it should be.
The apparent location has fluctuated. Welcome to flat Earth. That's our argument. It's just an apparent location that constantly fluctuates. You, out of necessity, must claim there's a physical, literal, tangible location called the geometric horizon. So you didn't do anything for the globe Earth in that entire opener. Dude, Black Swan has been around for over a year, and the Globers have yet to even fully understand it. It still eludes the grasp of the globe Earthers. So it's very simple. If the Earth's a ball with a radius value of 3,959 miles and a circumference of 24,901 miles at the equator, we will see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. There will be a physical, literal location that the Earth curves away from you, blocking your view. But we do not see this, my man. 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, we see the horizon over 10 miles. As soon as you invoke refraction, which is a term void of any specificity, you have to specify what type of refraction. First of all, refraction is a phenomenon that we do know about, right? We use Snell's law, but when we apply it to the atmosphere, which is a single medium, because Snell's law is about one medium to another medium, we have to use a differential of Snell's law. Yeah. Objectively, the subject matter experts on your side know that you have to use a differential equation, if you know what that is while you're shaking your head, a differential of Snell's law, because it's a singular medium, not a homogeneous medium, but a singular medium with fluctuation within that medium. Okay, so refraction is a generalized term. You have to actually, specify what type of refraction.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What I'll tell you what you have to invoke, since you don't know, it's called terrestrial refraction.
As you can see, we have on the top is the one that they like to use, and that was in under conditions that had high refraction.
That's what you have to invoke. Okay, as soon as you invoke terrestrial refraction, which the equation requires 7/6R, that is a begging the question fallacy, because what is in contention is the R value.
We will say
It's either CGI or fisheye lens.
In addition to that, if you do use that and it's a category error and a begging the question fallacy, it still help you because it only extends the horizon just a small bit, and you actually have to extend it all the way to 10 miles. So terrestrial refraction doesn't help you. That's the only type of refraction that you can invoke
anymore. However, what we see looks more like we are still looking at that star trail circle straight on. There are probably thousands of pictures of curvature.
Just put your other pseudoscience in the chamber. So you don't just get to arbitrarily fluctuate the R value that's in contention, begging the question and reifying it, and then say this proves that the R value is real. That's laughable. So you should have prepared for this more.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Whatever.